I get pulled over going to work. I get pulled over coming from work. I got pulled over in the stadium leaving the game. I'm still on property of the Buffalo Bills, and I got pulled over.
Being in college, I'd hit him dead in his damn head with the football.
New info is coming out about the Texas A&M Trooper shoving two black South Carolina players. And some insiders are now hinting that this wasn't a random incident. And everyone from LeBron James, Marshawn Lynch, and Shannon Sharpe are all exposing the truth behind this cover-up. They are saying this guy has no business having a gun and a badge. Because can you imagine what he would have done if it were in an isolated area at night? Luckily, those two men had the maturity and the focus to get back to the game and not jeopardize their lives or college careers. But that doesn't mean we should just let this go, because this goes way deeper. All right, so during the Texas A&M versus South Carolina college football game on November 15th, two players, Nick Harbor and Oscar Attaway, were heading back after scoring a touchdown when the trooper approached. The viral video shows him making contact with the players, shoving Harbor and then pointing and yelling at him. And immediately after, stadium security and Texas A&M police stepped in, and the trooper was pulled from game day duties while the Texas Department of Public Safety started an internal review. Texas Department of Public Safety later released a statement saying, "Our Office of Inspector General is aware of the incident and will be further looking into the matter. No additional information will be released at this time." But despite them trying to brush this under the rug, the video evidence quickly spread online and caught the attention of both fans and fellow athletes. One of the first ones to comment was LeBron James, and he actually claimed that the incident was premeditated. LeBron wrote, "That A&M cop needs to be suspended. That was premeditated and corny AF. He went out of his way to start some ish. Do better, man." Meanwhile, Marshawn Lynch said he wasn't even surprised after seeing that video. Marshawn has been very outspoken about being the victim of racial profiling by police, and he even claimed racist cops are the reason he left the Buffalo Bills.
I get pulled over going to work. I get pulled over coming from work. I got pulled over in the stadium leaving the game. I'm still on property of the Buffalo Bills, and I got pulled over. They were still trying to figure out how I got dreadlocked. That's a f***ed feeling. You feel me? I go in here, rush for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and look up and I see the billboard on the stadium, and behind I see them cherries and berries with 5-0 on me. I'm about to turn off the car. So I give my agent, hey, you gotta make something happen for sure.
So you asked to be moved out of Buffalo?
Yeah, that's how serious it was.
Meanwhile, Shannon Sharpe praised those two college players for keeping their cool. And he said if this happened to him back in his college days, he would have snapped on that trooper.
Yeah. Being in college, I'd hit him dead in his damn head with the football. I'm just telling you, just knowing me in college, Ocho, because I'm not going to be as professional as I am in an NFL setting. I'd hit him dead in his damn face with that football.
Hit him dead in his face, and you see that uniform he wearing?
I don't give a damn about that uniform. He had that uniform on when he bumped into two 19-year-olds.
Okay, I see you.
Ocho, they try. If you go look at the one on the right, I think it was 27. He actually tries to move. He tried to inch out the way, and then you gonna bump it up and then turn around and point.
Listen,
don't worry about it.
I don't know what's wrong with the cop. Obviously, he's in the wrong. If anything, you could have got skinny and slid through them boys real quick.
Come on, man. Problem. And then Godfrey also chimed in, and he said this definitely looked like the trooper bumped into those guys on purpose. Godfrey also pointed out that the trooper wasn't even in the tunnel, but he went over there after the touchdown just to mess with those players.
And then all of a sudden you see this state trooper walk in between them, like purposely bumping them. And they're like, yo, what the f***? And he's like, you get out of here. Got real violent, like belligerent with them. I'm sitting here like, what the f just happened? I go, yo. And by the way, guys, there's a long version of this video. They're only showing the short version. I have the longer version of this video. He actually was standing at his post watching the touchdown happen. Yeah. And then he decided to navigate his way over so that he could put himself in position to bump these dudes like he was a high school bully from the 80s.
And Godfrey's got a point, because the media tried to frame this as an altercation between the trooper and the players. But there was no altercation. It's the state trooper who tried to start one. And if this trooper behaves this way toward black college athletes in a public setting, what is he doing when there are no cameras around? They really need to check into this guy's record and see how he behaves in every case that the public doesn't know about. And get this, some insiders are bringing up the idea that someone could have paid to injure the player. Basically, this could have been premeditated or directed. But if you ask me, this is just your regular systemic racism. Black athletes, despite their talent and status, are still vulnerable to aggressive policing. And historically, there's a pattern of law enforcement targeting black men with intimidation or force, often in situations where they pose no real threat. The players were calm, walking away, and still became the target. From high school to professional sports, there are documented cases where black players are more aggressively policed or penalized than their white peers, often without clear justification. Even when black athletes reach the top of their game, they're still not immune to it. Take Sterling Brown. Back in 2018, he was a rookie with the Milwaukee Bucks, just trying to handle a parking situation that shouldn't have escalated. But Milwaukee police tased him, arrested him, and treated him like he was a threat, even though he was mostly cooperative.
Taser!
Illegal parking typically results in a fine, not an 8-minute discussion with a half-dozen cops followed by a taser. But that's what happens when driving while black. That video of Sterling Brown went viral, and eventually the city settled with him for $750,000. But that doesn't erase the fact that a professional athlete had to go through that in the first place. Brown himself has said that situations like this happen every day in the black community, and watching that happen to someone so visible makes it impossible to ignore.
First, the police were saying that you were resisting, that you were being combative, but the video proves otherwise.
Exactly. Everybody thought I was combative, thought I was, being aggressive. But I get mad every time I watch it, because I was defenseless pretty much. This happens from coast to coast, it's something that's being shown more now that technology has advanced. And it's something that's been happening for years, and people's stories have not been told, people's stories have not been heard.
Then there's Tyreek Hill. In 2024, just before a game in Miami, he was pulled over by the police, handcuffed, and pinned down in a way that was aggressive, even by traffic cop standards. Police claimed Tyreek was acting uncooperative before an officer was seen slamming him out of his McLaren onto the pavement. Now, even if Tyreek was being difficult, it's clear that at least one of those cops was on a power trip. It literally took a window for that cop to escalate it to what it was. Like, seriously, don't be a cop if you have anger issues and can't control yourself. And even younger athletes aren't safe. Back in 2020, college swimmer Jalen Butler from Eastern Illinois University had officers point at his head during a traffic stop, threatening to shoot. The police later claimed they mistook Jalen for a suspect, but they'll say anything to protect their own.
The university is supporting Jalen Butler as Butler and the ACLU pursue a lawsuit against 6 law enforcement officials for allegedly threatening the swimmer at gunpoint and unfairly detaining him as the teen returned from a conference championship swim meet a year ago.
And these aren't random or isolated incidents. They fit a pattern where black men, from college students to professional athletes, face disproportionate policing. Those South Carolina players were in a tunnel, surrounded by security, cameras, and stadium staff. Yet the trooper still acted aggressively. So just think what happens in less protected, less visible environments with no evidence, with no way of capturing evidence. Well, now I want to hear your thoughts on this incident. Was this just a trooper losing his cool, or something more deliberate? Do you believe black athletes are targeted differently, even in public spaces? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't miss out on this next video.